Hi everybody, welcome to Wool and Wine, episode 46. I'm Tammy.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Janet.
And welcome back to all of our viewers. And if you're new, we are super happy to have you.
And today is February 8th and we're recording here in the south suburb of Dayton and Bellbrook on October 8th.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous. Really feeling the fall today.
Yeah.
It's in the lower 60s. So I tell you what, I'm getting into the fall spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweater weather.
It'll be the last time I'm wearing the short sleeve.
I'm so excited. I love sweater weather.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah, so we all just got, two of us got back from vacation and Janet was gone on a sibling vacation for a few days too. So
Yeah.
we're all back together again.
Yeah, sorry it's been so long because it's been a little over a month since we recorded last, and thanks for your patience. But you know, you gotta get out there and see the world when you can. So
Yeah, you do.
we did.
So we've been knitting too. So
Yeah.
lots of
Yeah.
lovely
Yeah, a
things
little
to
bit.
show.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Oh.
good point.
Don't wanna
Cheers.
Cheers to everyone. So happy to be back.
Oh boy. It's a treat today.
Ooh, that's a big one.
It's delicious.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
All right, so I guess we should start with what we're wearing.
I guess we can. So I am wearing the Dingley Dell. And you're probably tired of seeing it by now, but I think I showed it. Oh, and here's a video, by the way. Oh.
Right.
But I think I
We're a little
showed
out
it
of
last
practice.
time. Yeah, But anyway, this is by Isabel Kramer, and I knit the size 44, and I used Holzgarn Super Soft in the colorway Indigo. I used Pearl Soho linen quill for the pink, and the whitish color is Yen Zarn.
No,
Zen. Yen Zarn Garden. You guys know what I mean. Zen Yarn Garden Serenity 20. Boy, we really are rusty.
Yeah.
Flower power.
Yeah.
And there you go. I'll give you a little close up if you can.
It's beautiful.
I do. You know what? I really love it. I wasn't sure about the bright pink, but it really fits.
Yeah,
It looks
it's
really
good.
good in here.
And nobody's tired of seeing it.
No, that's good. I
Even
hope
though you've
not.
shown it a few times.
A few
you know,
times.
a few episodes.
Yeah.
But I think everybody was really anxious to see it on because it was so cute.
Yeah,
I know
it
we
is.
were.
Yeah, it is really cute. I love the fit. I was a little concerned about it being too low, but it's not. It's actually probably perfect.
Yeah.
And I forgot my necklace today, but oh well. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think I did tell them it's a party sweater.
It is a part, because
Yes.
your niece
My
talked
niece
about
said
the
it-
confetti and
The
all the things.
confetti and the color, so it's my party sweater.
Yeah. I'm glad I found that skein for you.
I am
because-
too.
Yeah.
I am too, because it was perfect.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed knitting the pattern. She has some really interesting techniques for the sleeves. Here, let me stand up so you can see it. How she does the increases, but it looks like a set-in sleeve, but it's not. It's just as you're working on it, you do an increase on both sides, and voila.
Yeah,
But
that's
it-
the perfect size too. I don't know if you kept trying it on as you went, but man, that's right on your shoulder cap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
it was
like right where it's supposed to be.
right. So, yes, it's I don't know if I would call it a beginner's pattern just because there's some complications up here. You start in the back and you go back and forth and back and forth. You know, you'd really have to keep track of what you're doing. But once you get down past here, then it's a breeze.
Yeah. But her patterns are so clearly written.
They really are. They really are.
It's like if you can read a recipe and cook a meal,
You got
you
it.
can probably knit that sweater.
Yeah, you probably could. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
And the yarn, let's see, super soft, super, nice. The linen quill's really nice. They're all really great yarns. So.
Yeah.
So pretty. That's on my radar for next summer.
I know. Seeing how those shoulders look, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is.
So what are you wearing, Janet?
I am wearing the Feldspar Tee by Hannah Lubin from Herb Garden Knitwear. And here's the video. And it's just such a fun sweater. I use the Universal Yarn Bamboo Pop in the colorway Pastel Dots. And here's a close-up of it. So it's very simple. It's a bottom-up sweater. The size I made was the 40-inch. It's a DK weight. And it's just stockinette with some purl rows. Various places. So it's bottom up, and then you separate for the sleeves, and then you, it's flat. And then you join it at the top. And do the little lace work at the top. And it's a lot of fun.
Really good.
It looks really good on you
Yeah.
too. It's really cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is the second one I made. The first one I did gift to my sister, and of course, it's funny. I think I have so many sweaters, but yet I gift a couple that I gotta remake them.
Yeah.
But Claudia had this yarn, and she didn't like the white color. It
White
didn't
isn't
look really
mine.
good with her skin,
Isn't my
and
skin.
it looks good with mine. So it's like, okay.
Score.
Score.
Do you have more left? Do you have any left?
I have 1.5
Oh, cool.
skeins of it, so not really enough to make another sweater. But if I
You could do
combined it with
this.
some other yarns
you could
to
add-
make the Dingley Dell, for example, that would work
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like it. I used like US 5 on it, so
It fits you nicely.
Yeah, it
it's a
does.
nice needle size. And
You made yours longer than the pattern, right? Didn't you add like an extra repeat?
yeah, it was a little longer because it said 10 inches. And I was
Oh,
like,
10 inches
10
is
inches a
even-
little short
Yeah.
for me. So,
Me too.
so
That's
I
too
made
short
about
for me.
12 inches before I separated. Because there's no going back.
Oh, no. No, you
So-
have to do a lot of surgery if you're going to go back.
Right. Yeah. So, highly recommend the pattern.
It's really cute. Good job.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing the Cumulus blouse by PetiteKnit. And here's the video. So I knit the size 43, and I used the La Bien-Aimée Cashmerino in Le Grand Nuage, and then I held that with Rowan Kid Silk Haze and the color Serenity. So the Grand Nuage is very tonal. It's got little speckles of color in it, turquoise and dark purple and pinks and just lots of little colors. It reads very kind of like almost lavender gray.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I like it.
It's a good.
So the
The mohair is just a very pale lavender. They call that one Serenity, but it is like the palest lavender. And the cashmerino, boy, ooh, brain fog. The cashmerino has all these speckles in it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have all the details on my pattern page, which we always forget to say that at the beginning. All the details for everything we link in the show notes below, or are in the show notes below, with links to the individual pattern pages where we have all the details. So, you know, Claudia's, it will take you to her Ravelry page for that sweater, and Janet's, and so on. I did the size 43, but I didn't do a gauge swatch because I knit the same sweater, I don't know, sometime in the last few months, and I like the way it fits so well that I knit another one. And I think that one is a little small also. It's not, I don't think it's a 43. I haven't measured gauge since I blocked it. I just tried it on and it fits, so I didn't care. But yeah. I think this one actually is a little lower than the first one,
Really?
Which is really interesting. I mean, it's probably in the needle size that I used for this 4-stitch I-cord, which I just think that is so cool. You would think that it would roll, but it doesn't. And it's the 4-stitch, it's like, you know, you knit 3 or knit 2. No, you knit 3 and then knit 2 together through the back loop. So you're knitting 3 and sliding 4 back on your needle each time to keep doing that all the way around. And it makes it a really nice flat.
It does have a nice finish.
Yeah. So I may add that to other things because I do like the way it lays. Is that right? Is it a 4-stitch or a 3-stitch?
It's 4.
4-stitch. Okay, I thought so.
Stitch.
Yeah. I don't think I made any modifications to it, except I always just stop. Oh, maybe that's why it fits differently. I stop when it's deep enough and wide enough because I keep trying it on. I probably try it on 4 times by the time I get to sleeve separation, and I just know when I'm ready to separate. So yeah, I maybe never get to the right size, or maybe often get past the right size. I don't even know. But yeah.
And the colors you use are just beautiful.
Yeah, they're good.
It's so soft.
It is soft. It's very, that Rowan Kid Silk Haze has a long,
Oh, wow.
a long fuzz, right? The fluff is tall, right? I mean, it's like sticking up about an inch from my sweater in some places.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Hairy.
Pretty hairy. I mean, we can shave you.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We'll see how it wears. I would think that the mohair would ball up, you know, in those friction places, but not yet. I think this is the first time I actually wore it.
Oh, well, there you go. That's why it hasn't.
Yeah. So do you have any finishes?
I do not.
All right. I know Janet's got a couple. You want to talk about one?
I do. Okay, so the first one I have is the Cumulus blouse by PetiteKnit. And here's the video. And on mine, I made the size 40 inch on this. And here's
Very
what
pretty.
it looks like.
I
Yeah.
love that yarn.
Thank you. So the yarns that I used are the Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering, and the colorway is Park City. And I held this with the Frankie Gray Fibers. Oh boy, here I go now. And the colorway is Barbie Girl. And that's Jody's yarns from the Grocery Girls.
Yeah.
And Tammy had gifted me that yarn. And so it just went really well with this Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering.
But that's not mohair.
So
this is Surrey.
it's, the Surrey alpaca mohair. So people that are sensitive,
Yeah.
well, it's like mohair.
Yeah.
It's like a lace waist alpaca mohair.
Yeah. This feels
I think
so
they
good.
do call it mohair.
Do they?
I don't
Oh,
think
it is
so.
really soft.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Them had to be
Instead
the-
of like kids silk mohair, it's
Just very
Alpaca.
alpaca. Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
what special do I have to say? So when I did my 4-stitch bind off on the bottom of this, it did curl up.
Did it?
So
mine
I blocked mine because it drove me nuts before I even went any further. But then when I did the neckline and then the sleeves, they did not roll. But for some reason, the bottom of this did.
But since
But,
you blocked it, it's not.
Right, but I didn't even need to block these to get them to.
Yeah,
I mean, they
that's
didn't roll
interesting.
for some reason, so I thought that was a little odd.
It is odd. But I think it's
So-
great that it laid flat. That's
That is adorable.
really good. Yeah, that
so-
color.
And I put the little tag on the bottom, and I'm real happy with it. It's just a really nice everyday or
Oh, you can
when you go
dress
out
it
or
up.
dress it
or-
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are just, I mean, it's called a blouse. But
It's an easy wearing.
it's, yeah.
Yeah, so I use the US 6, which is a 4mm needle.
I don't even know what
On
I
this.
used. It looks like a 7,
So,
but I don't
I
know.
think I used
It
a
seems
7.
like, yeah, it seems
That's
like
what I'm using.
I was using a 6 a lot when I was knitting lately. So I'm liking the 6 needle. But this one was a 5, but it went pretty fast. So
All right, so I have one that I will talk about here real quick. You guys have seen this for a while. So this is the On My Way by Thea Vesterby. And here's the video. So it is finished, and here it is.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it is a fade, and this is a free pattern. Melissa said she wanted to knit this and asked if I would knit it with her, and I said of course. And then I got going on it, and you can see that it's like twirls the stitches travel the whole time, and it is color work. So every single time you are knitting this light color, it's a twisted stitch, and then you knit the contrasting color. And every single round, the stitch marker moves one stitch, which is what keeps this spinning. And you would think that it would be a fast knit. It's not. You're holding 3 strands of mohair of the light color together, and then 3 strands of the gold color together, and it's just holy moly. Well, anyway, we went on a trip together, and the plan was we were making this to wear on the trip, and I had mine packed, and we show up at the airport, and Melissa and her husband are there, and she forgot it. She finished it the day before and had blocked it, and it was drying, and she put it on the front porch for it to dry faster, and then she forgot to go get it and walked out. We had an early morning flight and walked out without it. So mine was in my suitcase, and I did not wear it. So we were going to be twinning one night on the river cruise, and we ended up not. So I haven't worn it yet, but I got to tell you, it's really hot. I mean, as you can imagine, it's 6 strands of mohair,
Oh man.
which, whew. Anyway, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not going to go through all the different mohairs. You can look on my Ravelry page if you're curious what I used to make this fade, but it was a bunch of things from my stash. And who knew that I would have like 5 different golds, like, you know, golds to oranges to browns in there. But I did, and it didn't take a whole lot of any one color. I think one of them needed 2 balls, and I didn't even use all of the 2 balls. But anyway, I'm happy with it, and I did make a modification. I made the sleeves 3/4 length because I thought if I make this go all the way to my wrists, I will never be able to wear it. It'll just be too hot.
So that, it's really pretty. Are these like little I-cords?
Yeah, I just did a little, did I? Let me think. No, I bound off knitwise with the, whatever the last gold color was that I was working with.
Wow.
The 3 strands of gold, yeah.
Because they do look like little I-cords.
They look like, yeah. So it's just binding off knitwise.
Huh.
And we do that so infrequently.
I know,
right,
Because you're almost binding off in rib or doing some other special bind off.
True.
So yeah.
And it didn't roll up.
No, it didn't roll at all. But I mean, it's 6 strands of mohair.
Yeah.
And that twist, I think,
Probably keeps it straight.
Yeah, because it's almost like ribbing. But it's...
that's gorgeous.
I'm not going to say don't do it, but if you do knit this, plan on a long time. I think this was on my needles for like 3 or 4 months. I mean, I was doing other things in between, but it was a long knit.
Yeah, and with the way it was kind of hurting your hands a little bit too.
But it was my fault, I think, because I had started off using the white, which is the twisted stitches in my left hand. And I didn't want to, it started hurting after I'd been working on it for days and days in a row. And, whatever color you're holding in your left hand, you want that to be your dominant color because it is color work, right? And I didn't want to switch that over to my right hand, but all those twisted stitches I was doing with my left hand because I hold a color in each hand for the color work. And I was afraid it would change the look of it some way down, but yeah. So this I may wear it sometime. Melissa's got it done. We may show up and be twinning somewhere, but it's going to have to be awfully cold.
It's going to be a cold day, huh?
Yeah, we're going to have to be like outside, sitting outside, and everybody else is inside. Because I don't think it's an in-the-house sweater, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, doesn't look like it.
Okay.
All right, so Janet, I know you have another finish that is exciting.
Yes, my next finish is the Oxa by Caitlin Hunter. And here's the video.
I know, another pretty one.
And here's
That looks warm too.
what it looks like. And yes, this is a worsted weight sweater and it is very warm. This is the Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the colorway Homemade Jam. And I tell you what, it is it's like a lowly processed, like a lightly processed yarn. And it's just very woolly.
Yeah.
And has a lot of vegetable matter in it when you're knitting. So you're pulling stuff out quite frequently. It's really nice. It's more rusticy, I would say. And so we'll see. It's very warm. So when I put it on, I felt prickly and I was like, oh, I hope when it gets cooler, it's not going to feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned about it, but I think it'll be fine, I hope. So
I think you will be fine.
So when I block this, so when I put it in the water, I put it in with a soak and I had it in there for a good half hour. And when I got it out of the water was like this gray, really gray-y. It had some of the reds in it.
Spinning oil or something.
Yeah. It felt like when I was knitting it, a lot of spinning oil in there. So then I rinsed it a couple, put it in more water and poured it back out a couple more times. Then I soaked it again for another half hour. And so it came out gray again, but it was so much better. Mm-hmm. So, and it's softer really now. Pretty. But, oh
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to wear it actually because it's new. This is the first time I knit with this yarn. And I really like the colors and everything. So
yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. I love the texture in that. Mm-hmm.
And this is the 40-inch size, I think, again. Yeah, 40-inch. It's pretty steam. If there's a 40-inch, by golly, I'm going to make it because that's what fits me the best. So, yeah, another recommendation for sure.
All right. So my next one is really exciting. It's Icing on the Cake Cowl by Beth MacDonald Stone, and this was a test knit. So it is, as all of her patterns are, absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. So this, I guess I can pop it on. Yeah, isn't that gorgeous?
That is really pretty.
So soft and warm. Wow. This would fit so nice under or over. Yeah, it's like under or over a jean jacket, like when it's that kind of weather. So this, like I said, was a test, and I knit it in Madeline Tosh DK, and the colorway is Antique Lace. So for anybody who's been around for a while, this was actually leftovers. I had a skein left from my, the Corin cardigan.
Yeah.
From last year about this time, because I knit that to go to Rhinebeck, to wear to Rhinebeck. And so I held that with Rowan Kid Silk Haze in the colorway Luster. And so
that's adorable.
Yeah, here.
It really is.
I really like
you
that.
You can check that out. It is so
might
good.
have to make it.
Yeah. Right?
And it's probably an easy knit, isn't it?
And you just, it's
easy.
got a lot of really cute details in it.
And I think that that pattern is coming out like really soon. Oh, good. I did bring I was digging for my yarn. So this is
so
the Kid Silk Haze. And then this is what's left of the Madeline Tosh DK. So
not a lot left.
No. I had both of these skeins down in a bag, and I just was knitting blindly, not paying any attention, and I'm so glad I did that. Because there's actually like 3 or 4 grams here that's left over, but I have to tell you, if I had known that it was getting that small, I would have maybe had a little fear of running out. I did have more. That was just all I had wound, but as you can see, you can clearly make that in a single skein. And I chose to add mohair to mine, but the other testers, oh my gosh, theirs are just beautiful. So watch for this. Again, it's Icing on the Cake Cowl by Beth MacDonald Stone, and it is going to be coming out really soon. I have a finished photo on Ravelry that I took. I had Rick take the picture in our cabin on the river cruise, because I took this with us. It was going to be chilly and I was afraid I might need to wear it. So I thought it might have its debut in Munich or some other place in Europe that we were going. But anyway, highly recommend this. It's beautiful, and it would make a fabulous gift knit.
Yes.
For those single skeins.
You're right. Fabulous gift knit.
Yeah,
that's
it
really
would be
nice.
a really good one, because you don't have to worry about fit. And I actually
you just slip it on and it looks lovely.
Yeah, I thought this might be really good for Rick, because he had a sweater that he took, but I mean, I took a bunch of shawls and things, and I'm like, well, I knit this neutral so that you could wear it too. And he was totally prepared to pop it on. So. All right, and that goes over there. Do you have another finish?
Nope.
Okay, so I have a few more. Amber, one of our daughters, called me right before we left on vacation and said, Mom, Blakely's sweater is too small for her. You haven't knit her one in a while. And I'm like, oh,
Guilt.
bad mammal. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to work on the trip anyway. You know, you want to have a plan. And so I went on Ravelry as we do, and I had picked out yarn, had a couple of skeins left of some funny Knit Picks Hawthorne fingering in the colorway Blueberry Speckle, and I had 2 skeins of that left, and it's not my color. I knit a Tenya with it 5 years ago, and I bet I've put it on 10 times and maybe worn it once because I just kept hanging it back in the closet. I finally gave it to Janet a month or so ago because I'm like, it's not my color. I'm never happy in it, so I just gave it to her. But I thought, you know what, for a grandbaby,
Perfect.
it would be perfect. So I knit the Novaa cardigan by Thea Hilliard, and I knit the size 4T size.
Aw, look
So
at that.
here it is.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
It's just simple garter, neck, and cuffs and bottom. And while we were traveling, I'll get it up there so you can see, I found those 3 little buttons.
Cute.
We went to a yarn shop, and I will put some footage in at the end of the yarn shop that we went to.
I like those buttons. They're really cute.
Yeah, the little stars, tiny little stars
Oh,
on
they're
them.
stars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah, so I got this ready, and I will be giving this to her sometime this week. Well, here's the thing. She's got siblings. And so I can't give that to her. Blakely is 3. And so she has a brother who's 4, and he would have been devastated if I brought something for her and not for him. So I knit the Citrus Hat by Laura Treadway. And I knit the child teen size. Is that right? Yes, the child teen size of the Citrus Hat. You would think that would be big enough, and now I think that it is once I've got my hands inside. But, so I used Universal Yarn Classic Worsted. It's, I think 80% acrylic and 20% wool, but it's machine washable and dryable. So here is this adorable little hat. But when I got it done, I was kind of afraid that it wasn't going to fit Braxton. Because, you know, by the time they're 4 years old, and he'll be 5 in February, their heads are almost the size of an adult. You know, I mean, they get big heads. I don't know how babies can stand up because their heads are so heavy, you know. So anyway, I knit that, and then I thought, you know, it's not going to fit him. So I have a great-grandbaby who is 2, and I thought, well, you know what? Grayson can have the hat because he would look adorable in this also. So I knit a different one for Braxton. And this one is the 2x2 by Annie Gagnon. Gagnon, maybe? Anne Gagnon. And again, Universal Yarn in Blue Fog. So here this one is, and look at those decreases on it. I think that is so stinking cute. That was fun to
really
do.
cute.
Very cute.
Isn't that adorable? Right? So you'll have to
yes.
use these for your little grandbabies. This one goes up to an adult size. I don't know if the other one did or not. I'm not as much a fan of the citrus. You get up here to the decreases and then you just start purling. So I don't think it looks as good. I also haven't washed these. So anyway, Amber's going to be going on vacation, and Brianna is going to watch the kids. Well, Grayson is our grandson, or a great-grandson, and that's Brianna's baby, one of her babies. And I thought, okay, so I can't take these over to her house and give it to Blakely and Braxton and not have something for Grayson. So it was fortunate that I made this for Grayson and it was too small. Or Braxton, and it was too small.
She can't even keep
so
track.
I know, I can't. So anyway, long story short, both of the boys, great-grandbaby and grandbaby, who are only like 2 years apart, both have this beautiful hat.
Cute, very cute.
And boom. So those are my finishes.
Right. Woo, there's stories there. Lots of stories.
But you know, you can't. It's like kids, they get so butthurt if you give a gift to one.
I remember when we had an uncle come to visit and he brought something for all the boys. And I didn't give anything. And I was the youngest. And I'm like, what do you have for me? And all of a sudden, then he realized, he goes, oops.
Yeah.
So he brought me a jewelry box.
I was going to say, you better pull some money out of your pocket at that point. You got to do something for those kids. Yeah. So I just can't. I can't be that mammal who doesn't have something for everybody there. So
yeah, I understand.
All right. So
we are going to talk about the Letho that we're working on for the knit along. And so we just decided it'd be easier, just everybody got to talk about it. And that is by Natasja Hornby. Okay, so I guess I'll go first.
yeah, you go ahead, go first.
Yes.
So I used 4 different yarns because I had seen a project somebody had done and I'm like, oh my gosh, I loved it. And then I have had all the colors that I wanted, so. And I have this part finished. There's the back. Oh, of course it's rolled. Oops, sorry. So white, green, and then on the sleeves, gray, green, white, white. So that's my color theme. I have the back finished. I haven't started on the front yet because I think I'm going to go ahead and start on the other side, and then after I.
Are you talking about the short rows?
Yeah, because. So I'm knitting a 46.5, and I wanted something a little bigger than that, but I didn't want a 51. So I added a 1/2 inch back here, and I'm going to add a 1/2 inch on the other side, on the back, and then in the front I'll have to add another 1/2 inch on each side. So I just decided to do these both relatively at the same time so that I will remember what I did.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, when did I add those extra rows?
Very good idea, indeed.
Anyway, so there you go.
Gorgeous.
I love, and the yarns that I'm using. So the body is the tacky Donegal tweed in the redwood. And that is so pretty, and the speckles are just so gorgeous. I love it. Mm-hmm. And then the sleeve cuff is the soft Donegal, 100% merino. And this colorway is 2BC 5511. Anyway, it's a dark gray. And then this is the Gilsk tweed, colorway number 32, and I'm holding these double. And then I got a lot of yarn. And then the white is Fiber Company Amble, colorway white. I said heather white, but I can't really tell why it's heather. But anyhow, I hold that double as well.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
That's where I am. And I just think this is the prettiest.
Yeah, that is so pretty.
Okay.
So you want to show yours?
Sure. So mine's in this cute pumpkin bag that Tammy made
it's
for us.
that time of year.
The time of year.
Yes.
Pumpkins and cider donuts. Reminds me of Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
So I'm at a very similar placement as Claudia on this. So I've got the first sleeve completed with the sleeve and the front and the back done. Okay, so here's, well, the half back. So let's see, show it this way.
It's beautiful.
Uh-huh. I like your colors.
Yeah. They're so you.
They are. So I used the Studio Donegal for all of mine. The Studio Donegal tweed, soft Donegal. And the colors are simply gray and blue and last but not least, purple.
Yep, so you.
So yeah, when I saw this purple color, it's like, okay, this has got to be incorporated into this sweater.
Right.
And it just adds a touch of this beauty right here.
Oh, yeah.
Here and in the back. So I'm ready to get started on the next sleeve.
So you have your front finished?
Yes, the front
Cool.
and the back are completed on the one side. Interesting construction on this.
Yeah, it really is.
It
It's
is.
fun.
It's so engaging. It's like every single thing we did with that was something new that we had never done before.
Yeah, so
Right.
I mean, we did welts last year, last year before Rhinebeck, the Lily Kate France Abydos sweater. We all three made that and wore it to Rhinebeck on the day that we happened to run into Lily Kate
that was so
France
fun.
and Anastasia. And so that was, but that's the only thing on there that we had really ever done before, other than stockinette. Are we good on time?
About 7 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I can do this in 3. So it's,
Timing you.
yeah. All right, so this is my second one, and the yarn that Janet showed was actually yarn that she got last year at Rhinebeck because we
Correct.
walked into Adirondack Yarns.
Yes.
And they had the Letho completed on a mannequin or on a hanger right there by all of that soft Donegal yarn. And so,
We all saw it.
yeah.
We all wanted to make
and we
it.
all bought the
Oh.
yarn and fell in love. So,
But I'm not using that yarn.
no, you're not. That's so funny. But Terry's using
Yes,
the yarn.
fortunately.
So I knit the first one a while ago, and I wore it when we were in Europe, and it is a fabulous jacket. I love it. So I am moving along pretty nicely
You
on
really
my
are.
second
Look at
one.
that. Woo!
Very,
Gorgeous.
very nice.
So here it is, and I actually really took a card from Claudia's deck of multiple colors. So, you know, Janet is doing it the way that the original was, where, or are you? No,
No, she's
it only
not.
had one extra color.
Yeah,
No.
Terry's doing it like the pattern.
So it had,
It's 3 colors,
it's
correct?
3 colors, and I'm doing it in 4.
Right. So that's the only difference.
One,
I'm
two-
doing it in the 3
No,
colors.
you're doing
I'm
it in
doing it
3.
in 3. I just chose to use white as one of my colors. Okay, so here's the back, and I'm loving it. I can tell you that this part is a little bit of a brain twister when you're using multiple colors.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah, you had to really think about it because you're using the white and a couple of stitches and then the gold and a couple of stitches and back to the white, and then when you go back you're purling because these actually have texture on them, the white blips do. Okay, so it's funny that Claudia said she was going to wait. I got both sleeves completely done before we left, so both sides, and then when we came home I started doing the color work on the second one. I had finished the first one completely, and that was the left side. And then I started doing the color work on the second one because I thought that I was completely finished. And as it turns out, I wasn't. So I did the color work. I did the 3 needle bind off to bind them together. I did the color work and the welts on the neck. And then this morning I was sitting there looking at it and I realized that I did not do the short rows.
Oh no.
One side has all the short rows, the other side does not. So here's what I'm going to do to fix it. I am not ripping out the welts because I actually sat and wove in all my ends this morning as well. So I have 2 cords that I have inserted in there in the right leg with 1 row in between. I think you can see that, the shiny red Chiagu cord. I am going to, just like you do on an afterthought heel on a sock, I picked up the right stitch on the row closest to these dots, and then I skipped a row and I picked up stitches, the right leg of every stitch, and I counted how many stitches I needed to do the short rows. And I'm going to start in the middle, snip that yarn, unravel it both ways, do my short rows, and then Kitchener it back together because there's no way in hell that I am ripping all this out.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So there's going to be some sweater surgery in a bit, and nobody, I mean, if I hadn't told 4,000 people just now, nobody would know. Who am I kidding? 4,000 people aren't actually watching, but you know what I mean.
Right, that's a lot of people.
But I think that's going to work just fine. And so I too am adding 1 extra up and back. I'm doing like 1 extra short row on the front. She has you go a certain number past your last one. On my last one, I'm going to go 4 past the last one and then knit back down and then Kitchener them together. So what I think that the row that I am cutting will be my Kitchener row, so I don't have to deduct a row to Kitchener. I think that that'll be the one that I'm actually snipping into. So then it'll be just right. But I tried it on and everything and I thought, oh my God, this is gorgeous. But until I laid it down to like really look at my work after I wove in all those ends, I was so irritated. I'm using the same tacky yarn. I bought this gold off of Claudia. This one is Peace Fleece Antarctic White worsted that I've had in my stash for several years. And I still have a sweater's quantity because I'm done now with these 2. And they're still pretty hefty skein, so it doesn't really take a lot for those accent colors. And then the yarn, the main yarn is Blarney Woolen Mills Donegal Tweed, and the color is gray. And
that's beautiful.
It has all these beautiful blips of color in it. This would have been really gorgeous with that burgundy.
Yeah,
also,
it would have been, yeah.
Or an orange, but that gold is like so up my alley. So I think we all have done a great job picking like our own personal colors. So if anybody's following along and joining in on the knit along, I will take a picture close up of my before sweater surgery, and then I'll cut it and take another picture, and then I'll do the short rows and take another picture, and then I will Kitchener it and take 1 more, just so you can see if you happen to make the same mistake I did. it's all is not lost. I think.
Well, it's good to have a backup plan.
Yeah, right.
Oh gosh.
I know, right? But I am not gonna let it. I mean, I'm not even worried about it. It'll be fine.
You'll do good.
It'll be fine.
It'll look really good when you get it
You
done.
won't even know.
know.
You're right. It's amazing.
But it's silly because I knit that before I left, and I thought for sure that I must have been done, although I didn't have check marks on my pattern for that side.
Duh. That's okay.
Yeah, but that's hilarious that you said, oh, I'm going to wait and do those both fronts at the same time, because they didn't know I even did that screw up. That was just a coinky-dink that she's waiting, so she gets them exactly the same. Yeah. Okay, so I guess since we did all that, we're on to whips.
We're on to our whips.
All right,
Okay.
I only have one, so it's going to be the Claudia and Janet show.
And I have 3 besides my Letho, but okay, so the Anjou.
Ooh.
So it's by Skeiny Dippin'. And I'm using Utopia Helix DK in the colorway Earth and Knit Picks Paragon in the colorway Topiary. So I don't know if you remember from last time, I said I hated the way the bottom looked because it was just all of a sudden a big stripe of light color. So I ripped it out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, that made a big difference.
Oh my gosh.
That looks so
It does
good.
make a difference. I liked it before. I love it now.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I had
really
to go
good
back
on
and
camera.
redo that. I mean, if I was going to be critical, I'd say, well, I was looking today, I go, that's kind of light. And I'm
Here,
like,
step over in front so they can see, like, all the beauty.
so
oh my gosh.
there you go. And I have one sleeve finished, and I'm working on my second sleeve. So I was hoping to have it finished today, but I wasn't able quite to get it done. So
So are you planning on having it done by Rhinebeck?
yeah, I should have it done by next week. Yeah, so I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. Too bad they don't make it anymore. The Knit Picks Paragon.
Oh.
Oh my God, it's so easy to knit with.
Oh, it's so soft.
Yeah, I
it's
think
very-
they make it, but it's in bare. That's the only color.
Oh, anyway,
So-
I love it, and yeah, I don't have. Well, I did make a modification. So I knit a swatch with these 2 colors, and I really liked the way they looked, and it wasn't to gauge. So I think the gauge is an 18, but the yarn that I used, it was a 20 gauge, and I liked that better. So I just went up a size, and voila, and it's perfect. It's working out perfectly. Oh, they had a split hem, and I just did a solid hem. And yeah, it's just got some nice details. One of the things though, for doing picking up the sleeves, you better know the pattern.
Oh, right.
You know, I mean, I didn't have a problem with it, and then you also do the short rows are wrap and turns, so that I'm like, okay, should I do it in this color or that color? So I just made it work, and so yeah, but I really like it. It's gonna be fun to wear. Yeah.
It's beautiful, but boy, you had to have had that stitch pattern memorized by the time you got to the sleeves after doing the whole body, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was done. I had it memorized before I got very far at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's really pretty.
It's so your color. That is
I
so good. So good.
Exactly. So,
Wow.
that's that.
Okay.
And you'll see it again.
Well, hopefully Miss Skeiny Dippin' is at Rhinebeck
I
again
hope
this year.
so. I hope so, because I saw her last, and I think I told this story before, but I saw her last year, and she was just walking by, and hers was solid, and I just said, oh, I really like your pattern. And she said, and I think it was her boyfriend or somebody was with her, and said, oh, she's a designer. And I said, oh, really? So we talked a little, and it turned out it was in the Pom Pom magazine, so I had to buy the magazine.
Wow.
I know, isn't that cool?
That is
That's
cool.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so hopefully she's there and can see it.
Yep. Well, every time I post show notes when you've been working on that, I tag the designers on Instagram. I put our thumbnail screen from the podcast and make post a story on Instagram and tag all the designers. And I can't remember if she's one that has an Instagram handle or not. I'll have to, I every single time I just kind of go down the lists from our notes and tag as many as I can find on Instagram, just so they can see the pictures, that we're showing. But I hope she's one of them. I can't remember.
Oh, well.
So do you have a finish? I see some project bags down, or not a finish, a whip.
Whip,
Sorry.
yeah. So I had 3 finishes
Whip.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
you
I had to
did.
get some things on the needles because that's just the way it is. I can't work on just one project. I'm not monogamous. So the first one is the Tayburn by Joan Forgione.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. What?
Is that those
And
colors are from here?
here's,
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
here's what I have done so far. See if I can kind of get the color work out here so you can see it.
Wow.
So this is a colorwork sweater, and Tammy made a sweater
Wildwood.
Wildwood sweater
yeah.
that had colors very similar to this, and Cascade had a sale on their Cascade 220, and they had these 2 colors. So this one is the Aqua Haze, and this is Pacific.
Pretty.
So, I thought, these will be perfect for this sweater.
Yeah.
So this was back in March when I decided I really wanted to make this. So,
That is beautiful.
had to get it on the needles.
You've been busy.
So I've been busy.
Well, your
This.
friends have been gone.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you've
So
had
I'm
some knitting
like, I
time.
had some knitting time for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Very nice.
having fun with that.
Tayburn. I don't know if I've heard of that one. I mean, we will have seen the picture already, so.
Yes.
Okay. I have one whip. And it's probably attached to a couple of these.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, this is pretty. It is. I'm making a mess. So I needed something to work on while I was on vacation. I had that the little sweater for Blakely, and I needed something that was big enough that would keep me busy the entire time, because that flight coming home, we had a flight from where did we end up? Budapest, Hungary, to Munich, and then from Munich home, and it was a 6 a.m. takeoff. Did you hear that? 6 a.m. flight. For an international flight, we had to be there 3 hours ahead.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I've been there, done that.
So it was quite the early morning. Anyway, I looked and looked for a shawl that I wanted I had some fingering weight yarns, and the girls helped me. Actually, I think Janet helped because Claudia was already gone, right?
Probably.
Do you remember seeing these?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I sat there on the floor in front of one of my cabinets and pulled out a bunch of fingering weight yarns. Well, anyway, after searching for more than an hour, I finally landed on the Marlow by Tammy Gore. And I knew that she has a ton of things out there, a ton of shawls. So here is what I have so far.
Very
and I don't, most of my shawls, whoops, sorry about that. Ooh. There's so much color in most of them that it makes it hard to wear if you just want to wear like jeans and a black sweater. And I thought, man, I am having a trouble here. I thought that this might be a really good one. So
Cute.
I'll get up here and get some of the colors in. There's a little bit of lace and it's mostly garter, which I thought would be really, really nice for sitting around and chatting. It has an unusual shape to it. So at first it looked like I was knitting a thong. Like undies, and then it looked like I was knitting a swimsuit thong because it's very this shape, right? And you continue at some point, your increase is on one side and then you stop increasing on the other side and it gives it this point. So I think that that will be like the center front at some, when I'm done. And I got a long way to go. So this is Lang Yarns Baby. Let's see if it'll, yeah, it's gonna focus in black. So it's just a solid black. And I actually bought this to make a whole sweater, but I was a little afraid of making a whole sweater in black. And then I am using the Sweet Tea Yarns Sweet Sock in Rusty Watering Can. And it really does. Look at the colors of it. It's like so rusty
like
watering
a rusty.
So here is
That's
her
gorgeous,
label. And so this is 75/25 superwash merino nylon. And then this blue is unknown. I think it might be from Zen Yarn Garden. It feels like the Serenity 20. And it might have been just one that I got in a mix of things. Doesn't that feel?
Yes, it does feel
It sure
like
feels
that.
like it. But the label wasn't with it. And I think I wound it at some point to knit a swatch or to probably to knit a swatch and then decided against it for that project. And somehow the label came up missing. But I thought it went really well with, it doesn't match perfectly with any of the colors in that rusty watering can, and then it's, you know, a good enough contrast with the black. So anyway, I'm having a great time with this and looking forward to, you know, just knitting away on it. This will also be an easy knit for sitting around in our Airbnb while we're at Rhinebeck and hanging out and doing all the things. So that's it for me. Now it's all you girls.
Okay, so my next one is the Cumulus blouse. Imagine that.
What?
And Janet intentionally finished hers before me.
That's right.
She knew I was going to be on
I was in a
vacation.
race. She was on vacation, so
So guess
I
what?
could get it done.
But I did do quite a bit while I was on vacation.
Yeah, you did.
And isn't that beautiful?
Oh my gosh. I hope it it does. It reads perfectly on screen.
Let's see, it's a little blowing out a little bit.
Oh man, when you were holding it back here, it was like so the color.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see. Maybe that's better. But anyway, I'm holding two skeins of yarn together. And this was gifted by Tambra. And this is that, what would you...
So it's
Surrey
Frankie
alpaca?
Gray.
Frankie Gray Fibers
Surrey alpaca.
And the color, it's a peachy, beautiful peachy color.
It almost looks
It's kind
like
of blowing
fluorescent
out.
marker.
I think it's that must be that curtain open because it's kind of
Maybe.
blowing out.
Yeah, that was.
And then the other one is Pearl Soho linen quill
So back here, actually, yeah.
in red poppy.
Back here it looks better, right?
Uh-huh.
It almost
Yeah.
looks
Right.
like
It
the
looks like
oh
the
yeah, there
color.
you go.
Back
Here, let me
here.
see how close I can get before it blows out.
Oh, right there.
There.
There, so now you can see at least
Yeah.
the color. So yeah, I'm holding them together and coming up with a beautiful look.
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
So I tried this on and the V goes down to here.
Would do this kind of neckline then.
That's what I was deciding to do because I mean, sorry, I don't want to expose myself.
No, I feel like this one. Yeah, this one's a little low. I've got a tank top on.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to end up doing ribbing.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if I'll do ribbing on the bottom and sleeves. I'll think about it when I get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I'll do ribbing on it. But yeah, it's been a pretty fun knit, and I'm now going round and around and around. And
Gosh,
it
that
is
feels
soft.
nice, yeah.
I think it's the
Yeah.
alpaca.
Yeah.
So that's where I
Lovely.
am. And I
Man.
could knit on the bust because I guess last time I didn't knit at all because when I was in South America, I was just like looking and taking pictures all over the place. And this was really picturesque. Croatia was really picturesque, but I didn't take as many pictures through the bus windows.
So you did get to work on that on the bus? Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some knitting time on the bus too, going to some of the places when we went to Salzburg.
Oh,
That was like 2 hours away from the port. And once you left the little town where the port was, there was, it was just countryside with nothing really to see until we got close to the town. So it was
Yeah.
a good amount of just
Yeah.
knitting.
Okay, Janet, you have another one, don't you?
Yes, I have another one that I started, which is called the Core by Natasja Hornby.
I don't remember this one.
So this is her kind of construction. So you start out, and this is the right part of the collar.
Huh. Now I have to look it up.
So this is how you start out on this sweater. It's a cardigan sweater, and it uses fingering weight yarn. So this is the yarn that I'm using. It is Simply Socks Yarn Company Colossal Sock.
Oh!
So this is a really old stash, and the colorway on this is Pinot.
And those are 150
And
grams each?
150 grams each. Now this is just a little cardigan. It's just an open cardigan using
K-O-R-E.
fingering weight,
K-O-R-E.
but it's a US 4 needle that I'm using. And I just think that this particular yarn is just going to be beautiful for this sweater.
I've had that in my favorites.
It's just a little more sturdy of a yarn, even though it's fingering. And I'm just excited to be able to use this yarn after all these years because I'm sure this yarn's like good 4 years old anyway. It's
or
old
more.
stash
Or
or more, 5.
Because I have some too. I might have to make that same party.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I just love it. And Natasja, how she does things a little differently. This is the beginnings of the sweater.
Wow.
But this is really interesting because it's a slip stitch pattern. So you knit on one side and you slip like 3 stitches and knit 2. And it comes out with this cute little pattern here. So then I knit for probably another 3 inches, and then you pick up the stitches on the other side and go the other way.
Oh, so that's the back center of your neck?
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
That's
well, so one's the right side and one's the left. So yeah, it'll be the center.
Nice. That color is really
kind of interesting to see how I go forth with this.
Yeah.
But for the size 39 inches is what I'm going for here. And it is 1,400 yards of fingering yarn for that. So that's a lot of yarn.
It is
a lot of yarn.
Well, you've got that in those 3 skeins because it's
It's
150
15.
gram.
I think I have 1550 or something like that.
Nice.
So
That's
plenty
cool.
of yarn.
Wow.
Nice. Okay, I have one more.
All right.
Lots of starts, not many finishes, but this is the Kylie Pullover by Irene Lynn. And I'm using the Pearl Soho Serif in the colorway Gray Birch. And so I have the back finished. Oops.
It's trying to get away.
Yeah, the back is, at least started. And then I did the part of the front. So now I need to pick up on the other side and continue. I'm kind of really taking my time. Other things are a priority right now.
Feels so soft.
But I love this yarn and I love this pattern. Isn't that cute?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that pattern cute? Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Cable and lace.
cable and lace, how can you go wrong?
All right. All the beautiful
Silky
things.
cotton.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't even feel like cotton.
It
It's
doesn't.
it's so.
Feels like silk.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's so soft. So,
I don't know how they do that.
I don't either. But I was like, oh my gosh, feel this yarn,
Yeah.
you guys.
Well, I bought a sweater's quantity of it the next time they had a
Uh-huh.
big sale, and after I felt that, it's sitting up there. I don't have any idea what I'm going to do with it yet, but man, oh man.
Yeah, I have a different color.
Yeah.
All right.
So is that it for
That's it
Whips?
for the whips.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I do have 2 acquisitions from the trip,
Okay.
and I'll show you those just really quick. One is I have had Yarn Envy
Yeah.
since Claudia bought some Make It Tweed, and she found it in some bright colors. I found it in this brown and beige and rusty gold tweedy.
I like that though.
And so I picked up 3 skeins of this. Each, they're 50 grams, and each one has 445 meters, which is like
404, it's almost
it's almost
500.
500 yards. And then, so that was at one yarn shop. And then another, I found Lana Gatto, which is, I guess the name of this one is Lounge, made in Italy. And I am actually studying Italian, and Gatto is cat. So
Yes, it
this is cat yarn. But I don't know, I think you can probably see the little tiny gold bits in it. I bought enough of this, I think 5 skeins, enough of it to make a vest. And this, the content is 46% cotton, 34 wool, 12 polyester, and 8 polyamide. So it's going to be sort of a lightweight, but I thought I would make a vest with it. I don't have anything dark green, and
that's
it's
pretty.
just got that tiny
And it's
bit
got a
of
little
gold
sparkle.
speckle to it. So, but it's very subtle, and I just thought I would give that a try. So anyway, more to come. I think that my goal at Rhinebeck is to find a dark yarn. This is, the core of the Make It Tweed is very dark. So I don't want to hold it with, actually, I just pulled a little piece of it out over the label. You can see how dark that is. I was thinking that it could go really well with a, like Wool of the Andes, mink heather kind of color. But I think that core will show too much that will bother me. So I want the core to match more. So maybe I'll
The
look
speckles will
for,
come out.
look for a darker color and let the flecks of cream and rust and
dark
beige.
brown. You've done a lot of dark brown. That would be gorgeous.
Yeah. So that is kind of a plan. But do you guys, so we are going to Rhinebeck, please, and that's just next week, next Wednesday we leave. We're so excited.
We had so much fun last year.
We did. So there are 5 of us going this year. If you see us, please come up and say hi, right? And we'll have Melissa, who we talk about a lot, and Mrs. Terry is coming along this year. It's just going to be amazing. So we are doing Cakepalooza at the 10 o'clock slot. We got the tickets for that.
And that's on Friday.
Yeah. We did that the moment those tickets went on sale. I jumped on it, and then I looked like a couple days later and they were still available for the 10 o'clock slot. But we were not going to miss that slot. So anyway, we're going to do that and hang out till they kick us out. And then
I think we're going to hang along, probably not.
Nah, we'll probably be there a couple of hours. So if you're going to Cakepalooza and you've got that slot, we may hang around a little bit into the 12 o'clock slot, so we can maybe have some crossover with people showing up at that time. We are also on the way down Thursday. We're going to stop at Pick Up Every Stitch.
That was fun last year.
It was. And I am so looking forward to seeing Kevin and Ray.
Yeah.
Those guys are so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's Needles at the Ready. If you don't already watch them, you need to go give them a watch because I love them.
Yeah. Yep.
And the knitting posse.
Oh, yeah, the girls
too.
from the knitting posse
Yes.
too. I'm trying to think. I mean, that's where we were when we ran into Rebecca and Amy Palco. But I don't think either of them will be there this year. I don't think
Noelle
so.
and Kelly too.
Noelle and Kelly, they
Yeah.
came. That was their first stop, and I think they had just got picked up at the airport. They were some kind of tired girls when they showed up, but they were very much spunkier the next day when we ran into them. We know what that's like, being so tired from travel.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so
so we have
anything else?
I don't have anything.
All right, well, let's
Wait a minute.
You have a
Try
swatch,
some.
Janet.
Oh, I do have a swatch. Okay, so with the whole castanitis thing that I'm having right now, I made a swatch with this beautiful yarn. And this is the Bloomsbury DK in the colorway Copper. So it's so autumnal with the beautiful oranges and the browns and so I am planning on making the Lionheart sweater, and I don't know who her name is. Gabrielle Venzia, I think is her name.
We'll put a picture up.
And anyway, so that's in my plan to work on some of these autumnal and darker colors and for the fall.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, so excited.
Yeah. You knit something with that same yarn in pink, right?
I did the Lori pullover.
Lori pullover.
right.
Yeah, because I did the Lori
And-
pullover in exactly that yarn.
Yeah, you
Yes.
did. That's right.
That knits up
Colorway was
so nice.
fuchsia. Yeah, it was a really pretty color too. But this one, it's so perfect for this time of year.
Yeah, it is. Very pretty.
Yeah, that is
So
good.
just anxious to get all the things on the needles right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm anxious to get mine off the needles.
I'm going to scrub and go into surgery here in a few minutes. Get that Letho going.
I know, right? I got to get back to my Letho. I've been kind of neglecting mine a little bit.
Yeah.
You were way ahead of me again. Apparently she doesn't have enough to do.
Yeah. Wow.
That's okay. It's not a race.
No.
Right.
All right, so I guess we'll see you at the tasting table. Alrighty, so today we are tasting the Hall Tea Bar Tea Cabernet Sauvignon from 2013. I was in the wine cellar looking around and I wanted to find something. I've missed these girls and I wanted to pull out something special. So I don't know if you know this, but 2013 was a really, really good year for cabs. This one is from Alexander Valley. And when I do the hang tags, they're just like this and they hang on the neck of the bottle. So the bottles are all laying down and so these are just kind of hanging off the front. I can see at a glance when the best time to drink them. So this one was 2016 to 2030. And I think we had 6 of these, so there are 5 more of them in there. And when we got it, it was valued at $60. So that was probably, if it was a 2013, we probably got it in 2015. It'll be interesting to see what Vivino says about it. So it's a wine from Alexander Valley in the Napa area. It is among the top 2% of all wines in the world. And so this part's not going to surprise you. It's more bold than light. It's a little more tannic than smooth, although I have to say...
Or the nose on this thing is just...
Yeah.
Wow.
And I haven't even given it a swirl yet, so let's see how it changes with... Oh my gosh.
Oh, man. That's some good...
So it says a little more tannic than smooth, but I think after this long, I don't find tannins when I taste it.
Taste them at all.
It's definitely more dry
Really
than
smooth.
sweet, and it's right in the middle between soft and acidic. Okay, a tiny bit of tannins, but not much.
I don't really get...
It's just a little dry. It's got that
My
little bit of
tongue's got
chalk
a little
on
that,
at the
yeah.
back, on the palate towards the end. So the notes that you should find here are oak, tobacco, and vanilla, which of course with a cab, that's what you'd expect from their oak barrels that they're aged in. Dark fruit, blackberry, and black cherry. Yep.
Yep.
Get that. And then there's actually another like 56 mentions of earthy notes, the earthy smoke and leather.
Yeah. I get the smoke
So I don't know if we're finding
It's really nice.
a price. Yeah, you can't
buy it. That's
you
why
can't get it now, so it's not even available anymore. Yeah, couldn't buy it if you wanted to. So anyway,
Sorry. We'll just have to enjoy it.
I'm so sorry, but I know some of you have commented that you live out around Napa. So if you do, I am going to guess that you've had the Hall wines before. We're a member of the wine club, so we get those beautiful shipments on a regular basis, and some of them are good enough to just cellar for a little while. But I mean, this is 11 years old.
Yeah.
And it could lay down for longer because it's definitely...
Well, it'll be interesting to see how your other ones, maybe try one a year until 2030 just to see.
Yeah, we totally could, right?
Yeah, this is the first time I've even heard of this particular
Oh, the Tea Bar Tea?
Tea Bar Tea Ranch.
Yeah.
Yes. Do
This
they
has
still
Sonoma-
make that? Do they still have Tea Bar Tea Ranch? at Hall? 'Cause-
No, I don't think they do. As a
Because I
matter
know
of
we're
fact.
members and I haven't seen it.
This was Mr. Terry's favorite wines, because every time we get together for dinner, we'd bring a bottle of something. And when we brought Tea Bar Tea, he would get super excited about that. We just haven't brought one for a while. But that was one of his faves, and I'm not even sure if let's see, if I go out here.
Just do a search on that wine.
Yeah. Tea Bar Tea. Ranch. Hall. Hall cabs. You can still buy this up until, it doesn't say what year that one is. 2014. Oh, it was a lot. Yeah, that was an auction. You don't want to buy it like that. You have no idea how they stored it. And nope. I don't think it's out there anymore. I think that it is no longer available. Yeah, sorry about that.
Hall makes really good
Yeah.
wine, so you can't go wrong with anything.
Any
that
of
you
theirs,
get
yeah.
from them.
They had a cuvee, Craig's cuvee, that was so good. It was a blend, and it was like, it might have been one of my favorite, like, everyday drinking wines. And they stopped making that one. It's like, oh. But they come out then with something else that replaces it that's equally as good.
Of
so
course, they wouldn't take that away without having something to
no.
match.
And I got to be careful with this bottle. When I pour it, I need to pour from the front. There is quite a bit of sludge on the back side of it where it's been laying for years.
Well, this is very good.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
very
a delicious
delicious.
one.
It's
Yeah.
very smooth,
Yeah, very, very good.
So
soft,
nice, easy drinking.
Delightful.
Well, so I guess,
Hope we see you at Rhinebeck.
yeah, please come up.
Yes.
Remember, we don't know what you look like. And it's a little overwhelming getting there and being amongst all the yarn fumes and so many other knitters. So please come up and say hi. And, you know, we want to get pictures with you if we can and do another little slideshow of all the folks that we saw. And hopefully we can have a way of keeping names with the photos this time, because we thought we were doing that last time, but Melissa was taking a lot of the pictures and she pulled down and typed in names. But then when she shared with us, that data didn't come along. It was in the metadata that it didn't come across.
Just wiped it off.
And we couldn't see it anymore. Yeah, so it might be like a private thing for the one taking the pictures. But anyway, so we really hope to get to see you.
Yes, we do.
All of you are what this is all about for us. So
Yeah.
This is why we're doing these podcasts.
And it makes us feel so good when somebody comes up and says, "Oh, I know you! You guys are Wool and Wine." It's really exciting. I think it's very exciting. Yeah,
it gives your heart that little happy skip.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah, it's like a little jump of love. So we hope to see you. We're excited, and we won't be another month. For those of you, we know everybody can't come to Rhinebeck, so for those of you who we won't see there, we hope to see you again in just a few weeks.
Yeah,
Right, we'll share our experiences.
Yeah, it'll be great.
And we should have some more things that we're progress on what we're knitting on. And I'll have a few more cast-ons because...
And I'll have something done.
Yeah, hopefully.
I hope so anyway.
So we're wearing our pressed flowers, pullovers and cardigan, and Terry and Melissa have them too. So if you see somebody with pressed flowers, pullovers, and it's not us, keep looking, because we might be right around the corner because we're all going to be together. And I'm sure.
I hope the weather's conducive to wearing them.
So I just looked on WeatherBug. It looks 10 days out, and now I can see into Friday. It's going to be sunny and 60.
Oh, perfect.
Wow. Yeah.
Perfect for my cardigan.
Yeah. Sunny and 60.
But I don't know what day are we going to wear our...
Saturday.
Probably, Saturday at Rhinebeck. Although, Saturday would be good. Maybe Friday. I don't know.
Maybe I'll wear both days because cardigans are great.
Right. I have my framed sweater.
Oh, right.
That I may put on to go on the hill. Oh, you guys, what time are we going to be over at the hill?
Maybe about 1:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
1:30ish?
1:30. Look for us on Saturday on the hill.
Yep.
Because that's when we intend to go over there. So if you don't find us wandering around, please come find us there, because hopefully it's not going to rain. If it's not raining Friday, hopefully
not.
I mean, I really don't think rain's in the forecast.
I hope not.
I'll look again tomorrow.
Yeah, because
but
it was kind of muddy last year.
it was. Yeah, it was
Yes, it
treacherous on
was.
the hill. So it might be dry and wonderful and sunshiny and
Terrific.
all the things. So 1:30 on the hill. We'll be there. Please come find us. Maybe we can do a big group photo of us and everybody who can find us. That would be so fun.
Or we'll just do a group hug.
Right. Definitely a group hug. For sure.
So we're gonna have pictures of our trips at the end of this podcast
Oh,
too.
right,
so
right.
Stay tuned for those.
Claudia will send me a few photos. I've got a few photos. Janet's got a few. So I'll separate them, and do like groups with a leading card.
We could put some at the
Yes.
beginning, although I'm having a hard time with mine. Anyway,
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
But in the meantime,
Yeah.
if you can't be with the wine you love, love the wine you're with. Cheers.
That is